Willie D live.
What's up, family? Chud the Builder, the talentless streamer who goes around rage baiting, calling black people the N-word, and trying to provoke them into a fight. He wants a confrontation so that he can have an excuse to shoot them. He woke up to bad news, family. Yeah, I mean real bad news. As you may know, he's raised over $200,000 on a Give, Send, Go fund. And that money is money that he probably intended on using to bail himself out of a $1.25 million bond. But the prosecutors say, no can do. You can bail out, but you can't use that money. So the prosecutors want to know where the money comes from. Check it out, fam. This is according to Times of India. Controversial streamer Dalton Etherly, better known online as Chud the Builder, may face another major setback in his ongoing Tennessee shooting case. Prosecutors are reportedly planning to stop him from using money raised through an online fundraiser to help secure his release from jail. The update comes days after a judge set his bond at $1.25 million, following charges connected to a courthouse shooting in Clarksville, Tennessee. A Give, Send, Go campaign created for Etherly and his family has already raised more than $200,000. That amount is higher than the typical 10% payment needed to work with a bail bondsman on a $1.25 million bond. However, reports suggest prosecutors want a special source hearing to investigate where the money came from before it can be used for bond purposes. A hearing connected to the matter is reportedly scheduled for May 21st. We can stop right there. There's Chud. Look at Chud. Chud looking like a crud. Chud the crud. Yeah, fam, check him out. But I wanted y'all to check out something else too, fam, while we're at it, while we're checking that out. I should have had this ready, but I wanted to pull up this right here because I think this is important to see when in regards to Chud. You know, I just absolutely enjoyed Chud court hearing. The way he closed his eyes when he heard that bond amount, he looked so defeated. He looked like who he really is, not who he pretends to be. Check him out.
That initial bond at $1.25 million.
So we just got a hold of an arrest warrant for Dalton Etherly that reveals new details, including the name of the man that he got into an altercation with and is alleged to have shot, that he's facing this very serious charge of attempted murder. That other man has been identified by Montgomery County officials as Joshua Fox. We also got a narrative here within the affidavit. They gave a lot more details into what happened outside of that Montgomery County courthouse on Wednesday. Officers noted that they watched surveillance video, and in that video, they saw that this started out as a verbal fight, that Etherly turned toward Fox and then reached for his firearm, and then a physical fight ensued. Etherly, according to this affidavit, then shot Fox multiple times. Fox was then airlifted over to Vanderbilt Hospital where he underwent emergency surgery. Now, Etherly live streamed himself, the interaction, it's caught on audio, the interaction that he had with first responders shortly after he's alleged to have shot Fox.
He said, "You start saying all that me, I'm gonna hit you." He hit me, started wailing on me, even after I had to defend myself by shooting him. He's still wailing on me.
Now, in that live stream, Etherly says that he didn't start shooting until Fox started to beat up on him. But it's important to note that in the actual narrative of the affidavit, officers note that in the surveillance video that they witnessed, this never turned physical until Etherly pulled out his gun. Of course, we've reached out to his attorney for comment. But again, this is a live streamer who's made a name out of himself out of essentially rage baiting, of saying vile content, of going up to people, especially minorities and black people, calling them the N-word, calling them chimps. So there's been a major backlash from the community about this individual for a long time before this happened.
So check out how much money he raised, fam. The dude already at $237,000. They got what? 5,791 give, 1,927 share, and 258 prayed. It's praying for this guy, right? This guy is an uncivilized mutt. And in order for someone to be empathetic, or let's just say sympathetic towards him, they would have to be an equal uncivilized mutt. This goes to show you that there are many uncivilized mutts in the United States of America. 5,791 uncivilized mutts funded this slush fund for him. You know that this is premeditated. You knew that this is what they do, right? He knew that this is what they do. He knows because he watches the media and he's on the internet just like everybody else. He sees people donating to stuff like this all the time. He sees white folks killing black folks specifically and abusing them, calling the N-word, this, whatever, insulting them, just treading on their civil rights and everything. And they oftentimes they get rewarded 100% of the time. So him being a failed business person, him being a failed father, him being a lazy, do-nothing dude who's known for nothing but sowing seeds of hate. He has no talent. So he's knowing that, well, I pretty much gave up on life anyway. So if I get killed, I win. If I go to jail, I win, because they're going to make sure that I get paid. So it's a win-win for a loser like him. That's the way they see it, right? Because you got to have given up on life to walk around calling people the N-word, just indiscriminately, just calling people the N-word, trying to get a raise out of them. You got to be out of your damn mind. So, but check this out, family. This uncivilized mutt, Chud, he ain't the only one who has been able to raise money for a cause. Check out his victim. Yeah, fam, check that out. $231,590 raised for the good guy. Yeah, that's for Josh, for the good guy. For every single person who has donated so far, I ain't got no problem with that. That's the way you offset the uncivilized mutts. That's the way you throw them off. That's the way you fight them. And I would say add a little bit more on top of the fight, besides the money. There's other ways to fight. Choose one. But that's a good start. Because we got to get used to putting our money where our mouths are. And it ain't like we ain't got it. Oh, we got it. We got it. We just got to get used to putting the money where it should go. We got to get used to that idea, because for a long time, Black folks have had the mentality of, well, if you're doing it for the people, it should be free. So you're going to expect this man to put his life on the line. You're going to expect this man to be away from his family, out here crusading for other people. He's out here missing time with his family, which means that if he's not working a traditional job, then his money got to come from, as a provider, the money got to come from somewhere. So shouldn't the money come from the source that benefits the most from the work that that activist put in? Man, I am 1,000% behind activists. I'm talking about true activists, people who actually do the work. And let me say this, because I know some of y'all are like, well, this activist did this and this, that. Look, ain't none of them perfect. Ain't no activist perfect. But if you got an activist out there who have active threats against their lives for standing up or speaking out for something, you might want to pump your brakes. It is oftentimes an extremely unthankful job, right? It's the type of job that people take for granted. And people oftentimes look down on, because most activists don't really got long paper. Most activists don't really have money. Malcolm died broke. Did you know that? Malcolm X, you know, the one that we like to quote all the time and we like to praise and we talk about how revered he is. He died broke. Fighting for people, some of the people that he fought for was fighting against him. Some of the people was his main detractors, were people he was fighting for. So yeah, I absolutely believe that people that are in that line of work need to be properly compensated. Yeah, y'all giving all this money to these damn do-nothing pastors. You may as well give something to the people that's putting in the work. If you ain't gonna get on the front lines, make sure you support those who are on the front lines instead of always having something negative to say about it. If you ain't helping, you're hurting. You can complain, but after you complain, do something about it. Chud is a crud. Chud is really upset right now, but he ain't tripping too hard because he knows there's a good chance that that bond amount will get lowered. And he'll figure out some kind of way to spring himself up out of there. He ain't got no money. So unless that money get raised through GoFundMe or somebody, they figure out some type of legal maneuver to put the money into an account that he owns or an account a family member owns who says, I'll loan you the money or something like that, there's ways to get around it. Unless that happens, Chud's gonna have to wait this out. He's gonna have to wait through trial. Chud is interesting. Chud just traded his 15 minutes of fame for 15 years in prison. Let me get on over to Fox News and see what they're saying about this. Maybe I can get some evidence to help, I don't know, hurt Chud a little bit more. They love to talk. No more talk.